So I've promised that I'm going to make this video about how I make my bread for a while now. So finally getting around to it. I've got some starter. I just keep mine in a jar like that. When I mixed this up earlier today, it was quite stiff, but it's fermented and it's become a bit jelly-like. I just put kind of like that much in. I don't know, somewhere around there. A little bit. Yeah, that's fine. And I just, whatever's left, I'll add some more flour and water. And then I'm going to go over here. And I'll eyeball it. Maybe about that much. You can see it's floating because of the gas in the starter. And while I have that stirred up, I'm just going to grab a fork. And I'm just going to replenish my starter. Eyeballing it, I don't know. It's supposed to be one part to one part to one part. Make sure it's real good. Kind of scrape down the sides. It'll be quite stringy. So that's generally the thickness I do mine. You can go thicker or thinner if you want. Incorporate starter into water really well. I do it in this order just because it cleans the fork. Because you want to minimize the amount of flour that goes down your drain. The stuff turns to glue. So I usually end up wiping it off if there's an excess on there. Always get it before it dries, because it also is difficult to get off. And then I'm just going to add in, I've got some organic wholemeal there and just regular bread flour there. And I'm just going to alternate putting flour in and I don't do too much wholemeal in mine because you end up with quite a denser bread. And so I just got salt, a little bit too much. More bread flour. Not too much salt in total, I'll still add more, but I like to kind of sprinkle it out because I don't combine my dry ingredients first. I don't know how many scoops I'll put in of wholemeal, probably only like maybe 2 or 3. A little bit more salt, a little sprinkle, more bread flour. You don't have to add the wholemeal. I like the way it tastes. Salt, I just use Himalayan salt in here. Also about the bowl, that's probably all the salt I'll need. You don't want to use like aluminium or any kind of reactive metal. Stainless or glass would be your best options if you're keen on plastic. I kind of do a rough mix to see how the consistency is going to go, if I'm going to need to add more flour, and I think I will. Sometimes I end up adding too much, and then I add a little bit more water. It's kind of, yeah, so I'm gonna add a little bit more water. tiny bit. It's way easier to add too much water. So I might, because I usually kind of want it more of a paste rather than dough. Yeah, a little bit more water. Sometimes I nail it, sometimes not. This is one of the not times. It's not going to fully incorporate if you add too much, but it will gradually, the hydration will increase. So it'll be wetter on the outside and throughout the entire dough, but it'll gradually incorporate through the fermentation process. And then I've cleaned my bench top with vinegar. It's lumpy, it's not mixed like that. And then I'm just gonna do that. And I'm gonna let it sit for a while. Be back in a bit. Okay, we're back for more. So it looks like that now. I'm just gonna wet my hands so it doesn't stick to the dough. I've got my dough scraper and I'm just gonna do that. Just gonna fold it in, pull it away. You'll see it's starting to get kind of tighten up. And then when it's, I guess, that tight, cover it back up. So this is, it's pretty forgiving. It's kind of an optional step. Always clean it off right away. But those are kind of stretch and fold type thing. You're just trying to work the gluten a bit and pull it apart to create some tension. And you can do it every, like, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes, half hour for a little while. I don't know. I usually do maybe a couple. Sometimes I don't do any, depending if I have time. So some people say you have to do it, but it's pretty forgiving, this. Yeah. So I'll probably come back, maybe do it another couple times. See how I get on. Maybe I'll get distracted and not. And then we'll let it sit for a little while longer, then we'll do a final shape. See you. Okay, so it's been sitting, I don't know, a little while, maybe 15 to half hour. I don't know, not sure. I don't tend to keep track. You can see it's changed consistency a little bit. So I'm just gonna do more. It's relaxed. Let's keep doing that. And it's tight, it's not going to do anything. So I might just do that, flip it over, and leave it again. I'm back. So I'm ready to do the final shaping now. It's been sitting out, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 hours. These times are going to depend on your temperatures. In the winter, sometimes it takes me 12 hours. In the height of summer, sometimes it's like 2.5. So this is some rice flour. I've got my banneton. You don't need to line it with the cloth if you don't want to. If you want the lines, I usually use the cloth. Give it a little bit of a sprinkle. You use rice flour, not regular flour, because rice flour doesn't contain gluten. It's not going to stick. If you put wheat flour in, it's just going to gum up and stick. If you don't have one of these, you can use like a bowl with a tea towel or whatever. Pecker here. Whoop. Okay. There's more water than I probably would have put in, but it's still fine. Got my paper. I'm gonna wet my hands again, but I don't want the scraper to be really wet. And we're gonna do a final shape. So let's go, start tucking, tuck, tuck, tuck. And then from here, I can just do hand. If it doesn't want to hold its shape, it's overproofed. So just keep working it into a ball like that. You don't want to do too much. And then over, and then I'm just going to build some more tension. And then in. And then I'm going to just cover that and leave it in the fridge overnight, ready for bake in the morning. It'll develop flavor and proof just a little bit further. Where's my cover? Here it is. Trusty shower cap. These work good. And we'll see you tomorrow. You don't need to show. We're back. So it's the next day, and I have preheated the oven to as high as it goes for about half hour, and I've got my combi cooker in there, and I've cut this, well not cut, but folded a piece of baking paper, and I'm just gonna bring this guy out. Very hot, very hot. Burnt myself more than a few times, so be careful. Put that in there, like so. We'll take this guy out. And I'm going to get a razor blade. Ready, I wet this, so it's all ready to go. And I'm just going to carefully kind of plunk it down there. Give it a slash down there. It's a little bit hot. Working quickly. Cover it up. And in we go. This is the one thing I do time every time. 30 minutes. See you soon. Thank you. We're back. So it's been 30 minutes. It's always the moment of truth. What's it gonna look like? What's it gonna look like? So it's not ready yet. It's done all its cooking, and now we're gonna just stick it back in for a little bit to brown it up. Your preference on how dark you want it. See you in maybe 10 or 15. Okay, it's been probably maybe 10 minutes. some heat. It gets pretty hot. I think this will do us. There we go. Magic. Bread. Yeah, so that looks, yeah, I'm happy with that. You can let it go a little longer if you want it darker, a little less if you want it lighter. But other than that, there you go. Hope that helps. We're back. The bread has been sitting on a rack at least minimum of 1 hour to cool, or else you risk having gummy bread. Let's see what's happening inside. Oh yeah, that's good enough. So that's it.